Hey YouTube, my name is Mike Congdon. I'm here to help everyone get stronger, get going, get after it. I got over a decade of competitive world level strength competition experience and well over a decade of elite training experience. So let's get going, get into it, and get after it. Today we're talking about the overhead press and how to find the groove that fits your body. So let's get into it. So I mentioned earlier, what is the groove? The groove I'm talking about is the most efficient bar path that you can move on either a deadlift, a squat, any kind of weight implement that you're attempting to move in the most efficient way possible based on your physique and leverages. So a simple way of saying that, it's finding the best way to move the bar for you and get stronger in that motion. So here's a couple tips to get you going in the right direction on finding your groove in the overhead press. So a couple of the most basic things to go over first are where do my hands go and where do my feet go? In terms of feet, I would say having slightly externally rotated feet is the way to go. Because if you were to imagine twisting the ground, if you twist the ground out, your glutes engage, and that gives you stability and tension through your lower body, giving torque through your hips. That's gonna give you a lot of stability so that you're not gonna have your hips bend forward or back as much. Now in terms of where do you grip your hands, it's not necessarily a place on the bar, it's gonna be what's comfortable for your upper body and bearing in mind your mobility. So I am notorious for having less than optimal mobility in my upper body. So overhead pressing has traditionally been tough for me. But I have found, even though I'm less mobile, what's powerful for me is if I can grab the bar just outside my shoulder on both sides and have the bar crossed basically right where the crease of my hand would go. Not necessarily right across the knuckles, but across here, almost like you're gonna bench press. You wanna be able to stack bone on bone. So if you grab the bar here and then grip on top, you'll see that it's directly over my wrist bones. You want to do the same thing with the overhead press, maybe having it slightly behind your wrist bone. That's going to be the strongest, most stable position to be in, and ergonomically it'll work a little bit better. So for me, slightly outside of my shoulders, I'm going to wedge my elbows forward, and then I can squat it up to pick it up. So going through some upper body cues to get you stacked and ready to go so you're stable, holding the bar up top. You're gonna want to not only push your elbows forward further than the bar so that the weight wants to fall into you, you also want to squeeze your upper back and your glutes and your abs so that you're prepared to hold that load above you. So getting under the bar, hands a little bit wider in shoulder width, crossing over the crease of my hand. I'm gonna push my elbows forward, squeeze my elbows in, and squeeze my traps back at the same time. This will give me a nice stable shelf to hold the bar. And then from here, before I press, squeeze my butt, so externally rotate my feet, get my chest nice and tall, take a breath, squeeze, and press. The common mistake that beginners make when they're starting to overhead press is the position and the angle of their forearm holding the bar out of the rack. So a lot of times an issue will be they'll have their forearm straight up and down. Now this isn't the worst case scenario, but what happens is a lot of people will push themselves away and then their forearms get forward and then the bar goes in front of them and it gets away from them. So an important cue, as I was saying when I was unracking that other weight, push those elbows forward, pinch those traps back, and then you have this nice foundation with your glutes squeezed to actually push the bar up and back and then straight up. Because you can't just go here with a heavier weight. You want to have it go up, forehead, then straight up. Finishing with the triceps. All right guys, so wrapping it up, finding your groove on the overhead press. Main cues that you want to go through are to root yourself to the ground, have your feet a little bit wider in shoulder width, and then twist your feet outwards. That's going to create torque and tension throughout your lower body, giving you a more stable foundation to press from. Squeeze your glutes, keep your abs nice and tight. Very important, keeping your hands a little bit wider than shoulder width, crossing over the crease of your hand. And the biggest cue I would say most people make mistakes with are they keep their forearms straight. Get your elbow forward so that the weight stays towards your center of gravity, so that when you press up, it doesn't get away from you forward. So squeeze the lats, push the elbows forward, press up. Once it gets to the forehead, finish up with the triceps and press the head through. All right, thanks guys. This will be a series of finding your groove on all the common lifts like deadlifts, squats, log, different strongman implements as well. So stay tuned for more. Thanks guys. If you found this video useful, please like, share, and subscribe. It helped me out so much. I really want to grow this channel and help as many people as I can to get going, get stronger, and get after it. So let's go guys.